Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special edition of More Than Just Business. I'm your host, Rick Franzo, the growth coach of the Poconos. This show is powered by the growth coach of the Poconos, ironically. And so with us today is Greg Cantwell from Austin, Texas. And we are connected, Greg and I, through the brain tumor community. But we're not going to be talking about brain tumors today. We're going to be talking about kidneys. And so welcome, Greg. Glad you're here with us today.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks for allowing me to, give some awareness on kidney donation and the fact that my wife is looking for a kidney at this time. And I'm just thank you very much
No
from the bottom of
problem,
my
man.
heart.
This is really a pleasure for me, and I'm really privileged to be able to do this for you and your beautiful wife, Lisa. So, like Greg said, Lisa is in need of a kidney, and so we're going to go over a little bit of the background about what that looks like, and maybe how you can contribute and help. Greg, tell us a little bit about Lisa.
Lisa is one of a kind. She's thoughtful, generous, spontaneous. She loves dogs. She volunteers at the local animal shelter. We actually adopted a dog from there. She's generous, definitely family oriented, loving, caring, beautiful inside and out. And she's had more than her personal experiences with illness. And I just wanted to help her to make sure she has the best chance at getting a living donor.
No, that makes a lot of sense. So absolutely tell us about Lisa's journey a little bit, if you can.
Sure. She was born with cystic fibrosis. That's a hereditary disease. And she had a liver transplant in 2007 due to the cystic fibrosis. She's also a diabetic. And over the past, I would say, 10 or 15 years, her kidneys have been failing. They've been going downhill, and it's time now where she definitely needs a transplant. There's no disputing that. Her kidney function is about 1/10 of what a normal person would be, and so I just want to let everybody know that if you want to donate life, that's a great way to give somebody you know or don't know an opportunity to live their life full. Donating a kidney, as everyone knows, is you have two. So donating a kidney doesn't necessarily at all limit the life that you would have as the donor.
Got it. No, I appreciate you sharing a little bit about Lisa. She's been through quite a journey in her life, and we're going to continue to not only survive but thrive. And so this is great information. It really helps to put people at ease about what it takes to donate a kidney. Okay, and so there's some different criteria that goes along with it, and so there's a couple ways to donate a kidney to Lisa. Do you want to go over those for us, Greg?
The way that everybody else knows is to be a blood match. So Lisa is a type O blood donor. She has type O blood. So a way is if the person has type O blood, the kidney would go to Lisa. The second way is through a paired match donation, and that gives a greater range and a wider reach for getting Lisa a donor, a living donor, because the blood does not need to match Lisa's blood. So if somebody else who needs a kidney, and there is 106,000 people on the kidney donation list, there are kidney recipients that have a donor that do not match them. So there's other people out there that may be like Lisa who would have a living donor that doesn't match Lisa, and they can trade basically. So you'd be saving two lives. You'd be giving the person life with the kidney that the donor would be giving, Lisa's donor, and then the other person's donor would give Lisa their kidney. And that could be, I've heard of even a 5-way trade where it goes around to 5 people because everybody's waiting for a kidney and none of them have matches. So once that circle is complete, everybody gets a kidney. And I mean, that's amazing that is able to be done. And it's called a paired donation.
That's pretty incredible. So it's almost like the Oprah show where she goes to the audience, you get a kidney, you get a kidney, you get a kidney, everybody gets a kidney today. And the crowd goes wild. Yay, Oprah. That's great. In a five-way trade, it sounds like something in Major League Baseball between like the Phillies, the Rays, and the Indians. So
It does.
it sounds great. That is incredible. I didn't realize that. Did you want to add anything to that, Greg?
Yeah. So, I mean, the kidney donation, a lot of people are have a misconception about a kidney donation. A kidney donation is not a very invasive surgery. It's all done laparoscopically for the donor. So there would be 2 or 3 1-inch incisions, and they would be able to suck the kidney out from a tube. And the donor would be out of the hospital in 2 to 4 days, most of the time in 2 to 3. Every surgery has its risks, right? Infection and so on and so forth, but it's not a major surgery. And that's what people don't understand, is that it's laparoscopic. I mean, when you have a gallbladder taken out, it's laparoscopic. So it's the same thing, and they just suck it out through a tube, and then it goes right into Lisa or the recipient of choice.
It's crazy. Science is amazing.
It
It
is.
does. It sounds like almost science fiction, but it's absolutely true. It also sounds like it would be pretty expensive. So if I'm going to donate a kidney, how much money would I need to do that?
A donor needs nothing. Lisa's insurance would cover the entire thing, from pre-workup to surgery, to hospital stays. Your insurance or yourself wouldn't have to pay for a dime.
Wow,
Um,
incredible.
and that's where Lisa's insurance would come in and pay for everything. That is a huge benefit, because the donor doesn't want to have any financial bills because of this.
And they really don't have any financial burden on this because it's all paid for by Lisa's insurance. So, I mean, soup to nuts, initial blood test through surgery and hospitalization. That is quite amazing. So let's just go back to the donor and talk about the person who potentially is going to be donating the kidney. What are some of the risks that they may face?
Some of the risks are, so you are not at a higher risk of having kidney failure later in life. And that's what some people may think, is having one kidney, is that going to have an effect on my life? It doesn't affect you having a greater risk of kidney failure. Studies show that life expectancy for living donors mirrors that of the general population. So having one kidney, you would live just as long as if you had two. There is no reduction in life expectancy. There are no national statistics, but in rare instances, the donor has reported pain, nerve damage, hernia, or intestinal obstructions. There's no, like I said, there's no national statistics on that because they're so rare. People with one kidney may be at greater risk for high blood pressure or reduced kidney function. That doesn't necessarily happen very much.
Right. So it's kind of a risk, but it isn't one that is realized very often.
Right, and it's always good to check out the website at the bottom of the page, and it'll give you a whole list of items that you can read to make sure you're comfortable with donating a kidney. Also, in the slide before that, Rick. So at the bottom of this page is the UNOS, which is the organ donation website, and it'll give you all the information you need to know about a paired donation, because I'm sure there's questions that you may have about how a paired donation works, and that's a great place to go to get that information.
Excellent. No, that sounds great. So some other questions that people may ask would be, how long will I be in the hospital? How long does the procedure take? How long will I be out of work? What is surgery like? You already explained what surgery is like. Can I get pregnant after donating a kidney? Things like that. So those are some of the questions that really can be answered by the place where the kidney transplant is going to be happening, right?
Yeah, they can answer it. You can always go to that website also, and the question and answers will be on that website. The answer to can I get pregnant after donating a kidney is yes, after 6 months. How long does a procedure take? Typically, a donation procedure takes 3 to 4 hours. How long will I be in the hospital? Like I said before, 2 to 4 days. And if you need a kidney later in life, you go right to the top of the list. So there's no waiting period for you. You go right to the top of the list. If you gave your kidney, you will go right to the top of the list.
Wow.
You can live a long, healthy life as a normal population.
Wow. That is incredible. So much, goes along with this that we don't even realize. So if somebody wants to donate a kidney to Lisa, what's the next step?
Well, you got to, I would say, go to this website at the bottom, https:// uiowa.donorscreen.org/register/now. It'll give you a questionnaire to fill out, and that's the first step. Enter in that information. If you, it asks for Lisa's birth date, but you can leave that blank. Just put in Lisa's name, Lisa Cantwell, and that'll get to the donor, I don't know, the donor person that would handle the donors and get their blood tests going and stuff like that.
Great. Great. That sounds awesome. And so if you have any other questions, you can contact Lisa's transplant coordinator. Her name is Kara Merritts at 319-353-7704 at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics Kidney Transplant Program. So a wonderful place. You and Lisa are from Iowa, correct?
Lisa's from Iowa. We lived in Iowa prior to moving to Texas, but I'm from all over the place. But Lisa's from Iowa, and she currently works there and remotely from Texas.
Gotcha.
Which is why it has to be done there.
All right, understood. Greg, anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
No, just to thank everybody for watching and considering organ donation and a kidney donation to specifically to my wife Lisa. She's a wonderful person, and she deserves to have a long life, and this would provide her that opportunity. So thank you again, Rick, and I appreciate your doing this and your time.
No problem. It's my pleasure for sure. And the best to you and to Lisa. And if you need any other information, don't hesitate to contact me, Rick Franzo. My information will also be at the end of this presentation, and I will pass it on to Greg and to Lisa. Greg, thank you so much for your time today, and all the best to you and Lisa.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Rick. Likewise.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been More Than Just Business. I'm Rick Franzo, and I hope you all have a great day. Stay gold, everybody.